anyway, here we've got a Pona waiting for us here, and I'm trying to think here ahead. Well, I left a Pona here for a reason, but I can't. I'm just trying to think ahead of what I'm going to really need her for. In fact, yeah, I think I am going to need to bring her with me. I was just trying to think if I wanted to leave her there or bring her with me, but I think I will bring her. Yeah. Because this is going to kickstart the beginning of the second trading chain. You'll recall there was the trading chain as a child with the Happy Mask shop. We had to trade the 4 Happy Masks, and that eventually resulted in us getting the Mask of Truth down there. But the space just to the left there, that vacant spot that isn't occupied by anything yet, that is where our new trading chain items are going to go. Again, this is a totally optional side quest, but the end result is more than worth it. And we're going to complete that now before we go to the next dungeon, because that item is going to come in very, very useful. Again, totally not required by any stretch of the means, but if you have it, it's going to make it just so much easier. Particularly when you consider the fact that the Water Temple is widely regarded by many as the most difficult, or at the very least the most frustrating dungeon in the entire game. So whether you agree with that or not, it can't be denied that the special item we get at the end of this particular trading chain is going to make life easier in basically every aspect of the game from here on out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it now because, I mean, technically speaking, we could have done this like very, very earlier in the game, like basically like right after we became an adult. We did need a few things. First, we needed, I think, minimum Epona is the minimum thing you're going to need. And you will have had to have planted a few magic beans in a few key locations, as we will find out as I show you how to pull this chain off. But other than that, we didn't really need any of the other items, I don't think. Mainly the reason why I took it up until this long is because I wanted to go naturally to the point where we freed King Zora with blue fire after completing the ice cavern. You could have done all the work to get a giant's wallet, saved up 300 rupees, and then just bought blue fire and freed him that way. But I just kind of wanted to do it in a more logically sequential order that made sense and wasn't spoiling stuff. Because in order to free King Zora, you would have had to have gone to Zora's domain and shown that it was frozen over, and I kind of wanted to save the reveal for that for when we took on the ice cavern. But anyway, the point there, though, is that that's another thing that was required in order for this trading chain to take place, is that we need King Zora to be freed from the red ice. Also, again, totally not necessary, but it is going to come in quite handy, the fact that we've now beaten the fire temple, because it means all the lava on the very top of Death Mountain Trail isn't going to be raining down on us, and that's also going to be a key location for this particular trading chain. Anyway, enough yakety yak from me. I will get this trading chain started, and you will get to see how this all goes down. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to Kakariko Village. You know what? I'm going to switch back again to my Kokiri tunic. I just kind of like it better. I'm not going to wear the Zora tunic unless I actually need to. And you may recall from many episodes ago, when I was returning here to Kakariko Village, I was doing basically everything except talking to the Cucco lady, and I said that I would come back and talk to her again at a later time. Well, this is that time. So let's talk to her and see what the deal is with her now that it's the future. I bred a new type of miniature Cucco. I call it the pocket Cucco. I don't get goosebumps from this baby. You'll remember as a child, the thing that we were helping her out was returning all of her cuckoos to her pen. And the whole point of that was because she's allergic to Cucco, she can't touch them. So now she's bred a new kind. That's cool. So Cuccos are very good at getting lazy. Late risers out of bed. Haven't you heard of them before? You literally just told me about them. It makes them very happy to crow Cucco, especially when it wakes up a very heavy sleeper. However, my Cucco is not entirely happy right now. You look like you're good at handling Cuccos. Here, take this egg. After the Cucco hatches, bring it back to me after a while, and I'll check out its mood. What do you think? Will you try? Sure. So, you borrowed a pocket egg. A pocket Cucco will hatch from it overnight. Be sure to give it back when you're done with it. So, you might remember the first time that we were given an egg, very early in the game, was by Malon, outside of the entrance to Hyrule Castle. We have to wait basically a full day in order for the egg to hatch. So we had to, back then, wait for a day to pass naturally. But now that we've got the Sun Song, we can actually just play her twice here to go to night, and then one more time to go back to day. And that saves us a bunch of time. Now check this out. Look, a chicken hatched from the egg you were incubating. It's the miracle of life. So just like that. Just a quick way to get that egg to hatch. You don't have to do that. You could just, dick around doing whatever, and then after a day has passed, it'll hatch on its own, but there's no time to waste. So, we bring it back to her. We talk to her here. Please make my Cucco happy. Okay. Okay, so we have to find somebody for it to wake up in order for the Cucco to have been made happy. So if you go in here, you may recall that this is where Talon has been hiding out after Ingo kicked him out of the ranch. And he's basically just snoring and snoozing all the time. So again, if we talk to him again, we've already talked to him before, but Malon doing alright, mumble mumble, sorry to make you worry. So if you target him, stand close enough and then use the Cucco to wake him up. It's exactly what we did with the last time we hatched a Cucco from an egg too. What in darnation? Can't a person get a little shut-eye around here? Alright, we talk to him now. Did you save Malon? Thanks. I'm going back to the ranch then. Yeehaw! Okay. So now, we can come back, talk to the Cucco lady. Please make my Cucco happy, okay? So if you target her, stand close enough and use the Cucco to return it to her. Oh, your Cucco looks pretty happy. He must have awakened an extremely lazy guy. Got that right. You're a good Cucco keeper. I'll give you a rare, valuable Cucco if you're interested. Its name is Cojiro, and it used to be my brother's Cucco. Its blue body is quite charming. It's so cute. Since my brother is gone, it's strange, but Cojiro has stopped crowing. Do you want to keep Cojiro? Yes. Ah, that's cool. You returned the pocket Cucco and got Cojiro in return. Unlike other Cuccos, Cojiro rarely crows. Okay. So now that we've got Cojiro, the blue Cucco, we want to find the location of her brother. And I think we've actually already discovered it in a previous video. I can't remember for sure, but I believe that I pointed it out to you the last time we were in the area. He's actually hiding out in the area of the Lost Woods, where we originally found that lone Skull Kid hanging out. Where we, played the flute with him and all that. So, if we ride back to the Lost Woods, and we are going to want to do this with Epona. Because we're going to want Epona waiting and ready for us at the entranceway, and we're going to turn her around like this, so she's ready to go as soon as we make our way back. Enter into the forest. And then back up this way into the Lost Woods. We've done this a bunch of times before, so we know how this all goes. right over here is where he should be located. There he is. So we can talk to him. No response. He's sleeping. So we target him and use Cojiro on him to wake his ass up. Cojiro? Why? Normally only a nice guy like me can tame you. Which means you must be a nice guy. Must be. You must be. Please, Mr. Nice Guy, please. Deliver this stuff to the old hag in the potion shop in Kakariko Village. This will disappear if you take too long, so you gotta hurry. Okay. You got an odd mushroom. A fresh mushroom like this is sure to spoil quickly. Take it to the Kakariko Potion Shop quickly. Alright, so head this way real quick, and you'll see immediately that this is the reason why we wanted to plant a magic bean here, is to cut a few precious seconds off our time in order to make our way over to the bridge, to quickly take us out back into Hyrule Field, and then quickly get onto our waiting horse. And really, it's not a lot of time that he gives us, so we gotta make every second count here. And there's gonna be, a few segments like this. Over the course of this particular trading chain. Oh no. Now I'm not sure what to do about this, because it became nighttime, which means we're not going to be able to pass through the potion shop like we normally would in order to get to that house behind the shop where the hag is located. The old crone who's the lady who makes potions. Though I don't think that starts until after we finish this particular trading chain. So I think what we can do is we still can't hop over that fence there, but we can use our hookshot into the roof here, I think. And then we can jump across this way. Yeah, normally I would just go through the potion shop, but of course the potion shop is only during the day. Or open during the day, so we can only get around the back. But so this is where we want to go, right? Alright. Talk to Granny here. Sniff, sniff, sniff. What a mysterious smell. You must have something. So, we'll give her the mushroom. That bum. He had to go into the forest. I see. Hey, give it to me now. If you see that fool, give this to him. It is the strongest medicine I have ever produced. However, this potion will not work on a monster. You received an odd potion. You don't know what's going on between this lady and that guy, but take it to the Lost Woods. They say that there is no medicine that can cure a fool. I guess that's true. Wow. Alright. I wonder if I can get into the back door during the night, though. We can't get into the front door, I'm pretty sure. But at night, the back door might be locked, too. Yeah, it's still, medicine shop closed until morning. So, we'll just have to hop over the fence this way. That's the thing, is that you might think, well, I mean, if the potion shop is only open during the day, then just use the Song of Time to turn it to day. Except that would have ruined our timer. Remember, we only had a couple of minutes, and if we fast forward time, that counter gets affected by that. So luckily, we knew that alternate method of getting into the back shop there. Alright. At least this medicine doesn't spoil. But we do want to take it back there, though, pretty much right away. And you'll remember how she referenced the medicine won't work on a monster. That is a reference to the fact that we were told... well, actually, I can't remember if we were told this or not. We're going to be told by a character that we're going to run into shortly. I can't remember if another character told us this or not, but the idea, though, is that the Lost Woods are so called because anyone who enters the woods, so the legend goes, gets inevitably lost and eventually turns into a Stelphos, one of those skeleton monsters. So presumably that's why he wanted us to do this for him, was because he was lost and so was trying to get us to help him get some medicine for him so that he wouldn't turn into a monster. But now if we return to where he was, looky here. He is gone. Only a cookery girl remains in his place. That guy isn't here anymore. Anybody who comes into the forest will become lost. Everybody will become a Stelphos. Everybody, Stelphos. So he's not here anymore. Oh, just, okay. I guess I was too late. But there's no timer on it, so it's not like it was our fault or anything. And it doesn't matter how fast we make it back. He's just always gone. But we can give her the medicine, though. That guy isn't here anymore. Oh, she just repeats herself. Alright. Blah, 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 blah. Only his saw is left. Hee hee. That medicine is made of forest mushrooms. Give it back. So if we agree to give it to her, she trades it for the sword, the saw here. You returned the odd potion and got the Poacher Saw. The young punk guy must have left this behind. Are you going to be too? Alright, you're kind of creeping me out, lady. But anyway, we can now exit the area. You may also remember from a much earlier episode, if you're keeping track of the relations between all of the characters, that guy that we were talking to was the son of the head carpenter, who was way back in the past, was the head of all the other carpenters that were running around aimlessly in Kakariko Village trying to build that building, which has now since become the adult version of the shooting gallery. But if we went in Kakariko Village at nighttime to that spot under the tree where the head carpenter is normally located, we would have run into that guy. And we would have revealed his relation there. And so that granny in the back potion shop there is his grandmother, so that's all their relations there. So we want to come this way. Before we go any further, just while I'm here, I'm going to point this out that we can actually go here. And there wasn't a boulder here before when we were a child. But now as an adult there is, and again, it's one of these boulders that bombs aren't strong enough, so we got to use our Megaton Hammer to destroy this, and now we can actually use, I believe, a bomb on the ground to make the hole here. There we go. So now we got these cobwebs. There's, I think, 3 of them on the sides of the room. So we can use Din's fire to burn these cobwebs down. As a child, we would have looked for a lit torch somewhere and then tried to use a Deku stick to light the fire with. You see whenever you do damage to a gossip stone there, that happens. Yeah, so there's a gossip stone in that chamber, and then we managed to burn this chamber over here. So there's a cow located in here, and a gold Skulltula hiding up here, so we can grab it. And then the last chamber off to the side here, we'll burn this one down. I can't remember if there's anything real special in here. I think it might just be a big Skulltula. I can't really remember, yeah. It's a big Skulltula. And Din's fire even took it out too. So I guess there's not really any reason to have really needed to burn down this cobweb. But anyway, that was the whole point of coming down here, was just to get that hiding gold Skulltula. Alright, out we go. Anyway, the whole point of me bringing up all that stuff about how the characters are related and everything is because we were given the Poacher Saw. And so we want to actually return it to the head carpenter, who you may recall the last time we were out here in Gerudo Valley is where the head carpenter is hanging out. Remember, you're going to need Epona here. This is the whole reason why we need Epona, is not only to traverse Hyrule Field really quickly, but also to be able to jump across like that, like we've done before. Alrighty. We've talked to this guy already once before. Hey, you, if you're going to blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, he's told us that before. Talked about going to Gerudo Fortress up ahead, which we haven't been to before. But here we can give him the Poacher Saw. Hey, that saw, it's mine. But I thought I left that saw with my old lady. Oh well. My Biggoron tool broke, so I was going to Goron City to get it repaired. Your coming here is great timing. Will you give me my saw? Yes. Good kid, thanks. I'm sorry that I can't give you something as good in return, but take this anyway. You traded the Poacher Saw for a broken Goron Sword. Visit Biggoron to get it repaired. Oh no, not another broken sword. Look at this, remember here, our giant's knife broken? What a fiasco that was. After just a couple of uses, it broke on us. After all the promise and spending 200 rupees with Goron, now we're given another broken sword. However, this is what the trading chain is all about, is this sword. And this sword, unlike the giant's knife, this is the real deal. All we gotta do is get Biggoron to fix it. So, our next objective is to return to Biggoron and plead with him to get him to fix the sword for us. So, drop back this away. Careful here. There we go. Not that Epona is really capable of, like, falling off areas like that, but if you don't approach it just right, she can, like, stall and then back herself up, and gets a little annoying having to keep making attempt after attempt to negotiate those narrow footpaths. But anyway, so we're off to see Biggoron. Biggoron is a new character that we haven't encountered before. And he is, as the name would imply, like Goron, was a medium-sized Goron, which to us at the time would have seemed like a massively huge Goron. He was easily the biggest Goron we had seen so far, but you'll see now the reason why he's really called Goron is because he's actually only half as big as Big Goron, Biggoron, right? And Biggoron, Biggoron, however you want to pronounce it, is located all the way at the top of the very summit of Death Mountain. So we want to make our way all the way up to the top. Which you can see is one of the reasons why it's good that we've already beaten the Fire Temple. Because we won't have to contend with all of that lava falling down on us. You may notice too, not that this is of really any serious consequence, but the broken Biggoron Sword is only a C button item, so we can't actually use it like a regular sword. Alright, now normally we would just use this leaf here to jump off here as a quick route to Goron City, but if we stay on the leaf, it'll actually bring us up this way. So it'll bring us even closer to our ultimate goal here of getting to the top of the mountain. Still got a little ways to go. We got to climb up that wall face. But still, every little bit helps. And that also is another one of those magic beans that isn't just for convenience. It actually really is going to come in very, very important in this particular trading chain. Obviously, we're not in a hurry right now, but again, not to spoil it, but, well, we will be. Alright, so climb our way up here. And then be careful of these Skulltulas here. And is there another one up there? I think that was the last one, yeah. Okay. And you'll remember all the way up at the top is, again, we pointed at the last time we were exiting here, is the entrance to the top of Death Mountain Crater, the entrance to the first Great Fairies Fountain, and where we met Gebora here, the giant owl, who's now absent. But if we look over on the side here, it looks like there's nothing here. Very nondescript. But if we approach, Biggoron appears. Look at that. He was hiding the whole time, appearing with his back as being just a part of the rock face at the side of the mountain. Oh, but look at that. Something's up with this dude. Look how huge he is. He's massive. This is why he's called Biggoron, and Goron is now a little pipsqueak compared to him. Alright, so if we speak to him here, my brother opened a new store. It's Goron's Blade store. However, I am better. You know what? I'm not going to keep doing that. I'm just going to read it like normal. I can't even stand to listen to myself. However, I am better at making blades. Hylian carpenters praise me for my skills. I'm not lying. Well, I hope you're better than your brother. Anyway, we'll target him again here and take out and show him our broken Biggoron Sword. That broken knife is surely my work. I really want to repair it, but because of yesterday's eruption, my eyes are irritated. There are fine eye drops in Zora's domain. You will find them if you go to see King Zora. So this is why we needed King Zora to be thought out. Please go get the eye drops. Yes. Alright. You checked in the broken Goron Sword and received a prescription. Go see King Zora. Alright. So, we're all the way back off in that direction again now. I know we took damage there, but honestly I can't be bothered taking the time it takes to climb all the way down carefully. It was just a heart of damage. Screw it. Yeah, now that we talked to him, we stirred him up, we could hear him groaning over his irritated eyes the whole way down the trail. All the way down the mountainside. That was weird. I didn't even take damage from that Tektite. Okay, all the way back we come again. This is the more tedious aspect of it, is having to traverse across the entire world map from distant location to distant location. Sorry for that, folks. Please bear with me. Oh, I think it all adds to the atmosphere, really. It just helps immerse you in this world a little bit more, making it seem, you know, like a big land to explore. Even though when it comes right down to it, it's really not that big. For 1998, and especially for a game on a home console, it wasn't half bad. Especially for me. Like, I wasn't really into these types of games. This was the first sort of big adventure game that I'd played. So for me, this was mind-blowing how big the world seemed. Okay. And get our Ocarina at the ready. This is the one thing about it that's a little annoying too. I kind of wish you didn't have to keep doing this every single time to part the waterfall. Sort of wish once you did it once, it just stayed this way. Though I guess it makes sense as far as the lore goes, because The whole point of playing Zelda's Lullaby is that you're not supposed to get access to Zora's domain unless you can show you have a connection to the royal family, so it wouldn't make sense for you to be able to just open the waterfall and then just leave it open, because then, like, anybody could just wander in after you. Okay, so here's King Zora, still all nice and thawed out. So, if we speak to him... Ah, I see. Princess Ruto went to the water temple. Alright, let's talk to him again, only this time we will present him with the prescription. Ooh, this. Well, eye drops. You might say we have them, you might say we don't. We do have the ingredients. If you take the ingredients to the doctor at the lake laboratory, he can make the drops for you. But you need to deliver them fresh. Can you make it before they spoil? Yes. Alright, so it's another one of these parts of the missions where we gotta be real quick. You used the... Jesus, look at this guy. You used the prescription and received an eyeball frog. He sure is. Be quick and deliver it to Lake Hylia while it's cold. Holy smokes. Only 3 minutes to make it all the way from the northernmost port of Hyrule to the southernmost point. Yes, Navi, what would you like? Yeah, iron boots, blah, blah, blah. I'm a little busy here. Not that I don't appreciate the help, but I gotta move. So, yeah, rolling will come in handy here. It only shaves off a fraction of a second, but, you know, enough rolls and it adds up. Also, we're probably going to want to jump right into the river, and that'll help us a little bit. It's actually more helpful when you're a child, because you're so short that you can actually float in this otherwise shallow water, and will take you down even quicker. But it does provide still, even though Adult Link is tall enough that he can just walk in it, it provides at least a little bit more of a direct path out of here. But look at this, we've taken 45 seconds already just getting to the end of this area, so yeah, we gotta move our ass. Move, 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 move. Alright, and you can see now why this is so critical to have Epona at the ready. And facing the right direction already. Alright, we used up a third of our time already. We gotta get going. Alright. And unfortunately, as I was pointing out before, how you can't use the Sun Song to influence time, otherwise it'll ruin your timer here. We also can't use warp magic. If we were to play the Serenade of Song, right? The Serenade of Song, the Serenade of Water, to warp us to Lake Hylia, which would be the fastest way to get down to the Lakeside Laboratory, it also would ruin it. I guess the ingredients not only spoil quickly, but they can't survive warp travel either. Anyway, we'll come all the way down here. Remember, make sure to hit these gates head on and use a carrot just before so that you make sure to jump them nice and cleanly. Okie doke. Here we are. Look at that, a minute to spare. And we'll stop right here. Back up a little bit, turn around, and have Epona once again at the ready. Dismount. And we'll talk here to the scientist and give him... Oh, wasn't standing in the right spot. Let's try standing maybe right about here. There we go. Oh, wow. I guess your benefits don't include dental. Oh, wow. I haven't seen an eyeball frog like this since Zora's domain froze over. His eyeballs are so delicious. It's so delicious. Tonight I will cook fried eyeballs for the first time in a long time. Hoi, 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 hoi. Such great stuff. Please say thank you to King Zora. Eh, what? These are for making Biggoron's eye drops? Oh, how disappointing. You should have said so in the first place. Okay, making him up for us. Here it is. This medicine doesn't have any preservatives in it, so it won't last long at this temperature. Run as fast as you can to Death Mountain. You're young, you can do it. Alright. You traded the eyeball frog for the world's finest eye drops. Hurry, take them to Biggoron before they go bad. Alright, so at least now we get a little bit more time, 4 minutes, but still, all the way to the top of Death Mountain. Not an easy feat. So we just gotta make sure to approach from the side of the wall here to make sure we don't get caught on that little lip of a hill there. I still think it's bullshit that that stops you. You'd think that, you know, this horse can jump over huge, like, 4-foot fences like this. A little bump in a hill shouldn't be more than she can manage, but anyway. And again, make sure to manage your carrots effectively. You don't want to use that last one before letting them recharge. Otherwise, it takes extra long for them to all come back. Alright, we're taking about a minute to get all the way back to Cojiro Village. Luckily, this will be the last portion of the trading sequence where we have to rush somewhere on a time limit, so we don't have to worry about positioning Epona nicely facing outward. We can just quickly make our way back up. And through Cojiro Village again. And then once we get there, we will once again use that magic bean leaf at the entrance to Dodongo's Cavern to cut off a giant chunk of time. I'm not 100% certain if that is absolutely necessary. I can only tell you that I have never attempted it without having that magic leaf ready for us. And it has always been cutting it kind of close that I've found. So without the magic bean leaf, I'm really not sure if you have enough time. Alright, coming up on now 50% of our time having expired. Just 2 more minutes to go. Use the magic bean leaf. And jump off right here. Alright, we've got just under 2 minutes to get all the way up to that wall and climb all the way to the top. Hopefully none of those wall Skulltulas or red Tektites slow us down. Let's see if we can even shoot a couple of them down from here. Oops. Shoot, shoot, shoot! Oh, my aim is off. I'm taking too much time. Taking too much time! And maybe if we just try to ignore that Tektite, maybe we might get lucky and it'll just jump right over us and bypass us entirely. Sometimes it just wants to jump off of that platform there. Yeah, we can just bypass it there. Alright, so look at that. So we got a minute to spare, so I'm not sure if that extra minute is enough time without the magic bean leaf. It might be, but it's going to be real close. Okay, quickly, give him the eye drops. Really? You brought the eye drops? I'm so relieved. I'm going to use them right now. Look at these giant, massive hands the size of my house, and he's trying to use this little eyedropper. Wow! This is stimulating. It's working great. Now I can get back to my blade business. My work is not very consistent, so I'll give this to you so you won't forget. After a few days, please return. Wait. Just wait patiently. The Biggoron Sword. You got a claim check for it. You can't wait for the sword to be completed. So now, basically, all we gotta do is wait for 3 day cycles to pass, and the sword will be ready for us. But, luckily, we know the Sun Song. So for 3 full day cycles, that means we're gonna need to play Sun Song 6 times in a row. Wait for it to turn night before you try playing again. Alright. Remember, Sun Song only brings you to the next half-day portion. So if you're a little too overeager and try playing the song before it's actually gotten to that point, you're not going to get yourself any further ahead. You've just wasted time, basically. So again, you just wait until you hear the wolf howling to indicate daytime, and that rooster, or Cucco, to indicate it is day. Alright. That makes for 2 days. One more day to go. You're just looking at us very dumbly. I trust you're working this whole time. And that ought to do her. Alright. So, cash in the claim check. Et voila. That sword is my finest work. Oh, baby. You handed in the claim check and got the Biggoron Sword. This blade was forged by a master smith and won't break. Isn't that fantastic? Look at that. And it replaced our broken giant's knife, too. Biggoron Sword. Check this baby out. Alright. So basically, it works exactly like the giant's knife did, only, you know, I can abuse it as much as I want to, and it will not break or dull, even. Excellent! Alright, now that that's taken care of, let's take care of some more business down at the lake. Play the Serenade of Water. Warp to Lake Hylia. Alright, so we're just about to finally enter the water temple. Before we do that, I want to take care of one more thing. I would ideally like to have done this the last time I was at the lab, except we were immediately given a strict time limit to return to Biggoron at the top of Death Mountain as quickly as possible, so I didn't want to dig around and waste time. I probably wouldn't have had enough time to do this. But what we actually want to do is return back to the laboratory now that we have the iron boots. I remember we returned into this pool here last when we had the gold scale, and we dive all the way to the bottom of this pool and touch the floor with the gold scale, and then after we talked to the scientist again, he gifted us with a piece of heart. But now that we've got the iron boots, we can do this one more time, equip them, and dive to the bottom. Ooh, I also should equip the Zora tunic while I'm here so that I don't drown. And now look in there, there's a shark behind that grate. It's like just a 2D JPEG basically, though. It's not actually like even moving. But anyway, the reason we want to come down here is because there's a crate, and we can actually roll into that crate. Boom. Another gold Skulltula. This is interesting. First of all, I think it's kind of funny that you can even roll on the ground underwater. But anyway, the only weapon that you can actually equip and use underwater is your hookshot. So you can see, like, your arrows are grayed out, right? You can't use arrows, you can't use bombs, you can't really use anything except for the hookshot. The hookshot will work, so we can use that to take out this gold Skulltula. Alright. Re-equip our Kokiri boots so that we can float back to the surface. We're gonna keep our Zora tunic on, though, because we're going to need that basically for the entire duration of the water temple. And the hidden entrance to the water temple is as follows. It's actually right underneath the zone that we warped to, where that tree is hiding above there. So if you come all the way down here, and then we equip our iron boots once again. This is the most tedious part of this, is having to go into our menu all the time and constantly re-equip and unequip our iron boots. But here's the entrance, and the gate only opens if we use our hookshot and shoot that crystal-looking thing right there. That causes that to float out, and as it does so, it pulls a pull chain that causes the gate to open. Et voila, entrance to the water dungeon. Are you ready, boys and girls? Whew, this is an intimidating dungeon, so I hope you got your wits about you. Here we go.